What do it do, YouTube? We are back with another Flashback Friday episode, but it's not Flashback Friday, it's way back Wednesday here. And today we are going to discuss WWE Insurrection 2002, aka WWF Insurrection 2002 technically.
Yeah,
Uh,
the final show under the WWF banner. Just 2 days later was a name change.
wow, okay. Well, before we get started, if you're new to this YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button. And if you don't hit the subscribe button, Frank,
Rikishi will come to your house, right?
facts.
Yeah.
Um, one second. Frank, do the introduction of this pay per view. Tell everybody what was on this card.
All right. So on the card, you had what was the opening match? Hold on. They don't put these DVDs in order. Oh, right. So the opening match was the IC title, Eddie Guerrero versus RVD. They had Divas tag match, Jazz and Molly Holly versus Trish and Jacqueline. I believe Bradshaw XPac was after that. Hardcore title, Steven Richards versus Booker T. Then the Hardys versus Sean Stasiak and Brock Lesnar.
Oh, yeah.
Then Austin and Big Show, Triple H versus Undertaker in the main event.
This show,
Insur-
when we watched it, was actually a really solid show. I don't think it was a
was-
bad show at all.
the UK specials get a lot of flack, and personally, I disagree. They were solid shows. For one that really gets a lot of flack that I would love to cover one day that I really enjoyed was the original No Mercy 99 UK.
Ooh,
That was a solid show. Um, yeah, we'll get to that someday. That was really good.
by the way, this episode sponsored by Pepsi, and the best part about this one, Frank, look at that, sealed shut, brand new. So,
Okay,
pop the old one open.
we
Cheers.
both drinking. We both drinking Pepsi products. I got the Mountain Dew.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Of course, this pay per view was memorable for one reason and one reason
Two,
only.
two reasons. Two reasons. Like I just said,
Talk about the
this
first.
is final. What was that?
Talk about the first reason first. Plane ride from hell.
Right,
What
the
was the second?
plane ride from hell. The second, I just mentioned it earlier. This is the
Oh,
final show under the WWF
right.
banner. Yeah,
That's right. Yeah. So two reasons that this pay per view was famous. And of course, you talk about the plane ride from hell. We obviously were not on the plane. We're just people, whatever.
that would be something, man.
That would be
Phew.
interesting. That would have been interesting to be on that plane.
I would have been fearing for my life watching Brock and Kurt Hennig roll around near that door.
Right? Uh, yeah, that would have been something insane. Watching basically the plane ride from hell. I think we can agree on this one, Frank. It was a bunch of adults acting like children.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, from
Yeah,
what the stories, it definitely was.
and of
But
course,
it also sounds like just another typical uh plane ride featuring wrestlers. There's essentially more stories. This was one of the craziest. That's why it's always told.
true. Of course, one of the big horror stories that came out of this plane ride from hell episode was the Ric Flair stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a Dark Side of the Ring episode on this subject, the plane ride from hell. And
Before we get to that, one of the craziest. So Flair was the on-screen owner of Raw at this time.
right.
So one of the craziest things to come out of the plane ride from hell. I just thought about this today. Ric Flair being the on-screen owner, he's one of the guys that a couple of guys got fired because of the plane ride from hell. if there was one guy who really should have been fired, it was Ric Flair. But
Right.
like JR said on the show, he was a made man, so you can't do that. But one of the craziest things is, due to the fact that he was the Raw owner, Scott Hall being fired, storyline wise, they had to do that by having Flair go on TV and saying, I fired Scott Hall. So Ric Flair fired Scott Hall. When
Right.
meanwhile, Ric Flair himself should have gotten fired for that too.
Um, yeah, I want to say for the record right here, right now, I do not condone in any situation, in any time, in any place, whipping your dick out, whipping it around like a helicopter, and sexually harassing other
Ric,
people.
Ric Flair is from North Carolina, so he was just representing. You know how Petey Pablo says it. Spin it like a helicopter. You don't
Frank,
know that track? You don't know that track?
I don't know that. I don't know that.
What?
I guess, not, but that's okay. Uh, by the way, I just put the link here. So hold on just a sec, just to see if we can get people watching us. Um, yeah, this plane ride from hell, as I said, it was a bunch of adults acting like children,
Yeah.
and especially with Ric Flair, I feel sorry for that stewardess, but at the same time, she got paid a lot of money. Excuse me. She got paid a lot of money to keep her mouth shut, and she kept her mouth shut for a while. But then Darkseid called her and said, "Hey, want to open that mouth?" And of course, she's nope. Wait. Hang on. Let me reword that.
Oh my gosh. I didn't that went over my head until you stopped
Yeah.
yourself. But
Well,
okay.
anyway, yeah, they asked her to talk about it, and she said, "Sure," and she finally did. And you know, I feel bad for her, but at the same time, she got paid a lot of money, so out of the situation, and it's not like he raped her or anything like that,
Right.
and
Right.
she made it sound like it was a rape taking place.
Nah, well, I don't see nothing wrong with her telling her story.
No,
That's all I can say about that. That's a tough situation to talk about. I mean, I'll say Flair was in the wrong. There's no doubt about that.
yeah,
You feel absolutely horrible for I was trying to remember her name, but yeah, I just watched the Dark Side Ring like a couple hours ago, but I forgot her name. Yeah, you feel bad for the stewardess.
yeah,
Um,
100%.
but not only did Flair do it to her, but Scott Hall did it to her too. Like right towards the very end of the plane ride, because she went over the hall. I think it was she was asking about something to drink or something. I don't know. And Hall like grabbed her uniform and like said some stuff that you can watch the documentary. I ain't gonna repeat. You can watch the documentary and hear what Scott Hall allegedly said to her.
And that whole boys will be boys thing, I come on. Boys will be boys, but that doesn't excuse sexual harassment.
No,
Like,
Tommy Dreamer really made himself look very, very bad.
fact.
Um, on that documentary. Making saying that I'm offending people just by having a double haired
Yeah,
ponytail.
you can't compare having a double
No.
ponytail to sexually harassing a woman. I'm sorry.
Well, his argument was that Flair was just having fun. Well, that's not how you have fun in a on a plane with where a stewardess is just there to get you from point A to point B, you
Right.
know?
It's yeah. And the big thing that caused a lot of these problems, it was alcohol and pills, booze and
Well,
pills.
they went through three alcohol carts before the plane took off.
Yeah,
To which
that's not cool.
the
No, there should have been. They should have said, you know what? We have to limit you guys. You can go through one, but you can't go through any more. Once
well,
you finish one cart, you're done for the flight.
you haven't watched the episode in a while, right?
No, I'll be honest, I have not.
Yeah, so I know because Just Incredible had his response to that. He said if it would have came down to it, Ric Flair would have thrown a couple money their way and said we're getting to that alcohol whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So,
By the way,
but
on the subject of Ric Flair, I spoke about this the other day with my.
oh yeah, perfect timing to talk about with Flair.
He is going to get in the ring in 2022
At 73 years old,
He's a fucking pacemaker.
with all the health issues he's had over the years. I don't understand it. I really don't.
You know what it is? I bet you I know what it is. He needs the money.
Probably, who knows?
He needs the money for his ex-wives. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean,
The man is a legend. The way he went out in 08, that's how he should have stayed out. And I don't.
he came back 2 years later. Came back to Impact.
I'm willing to
I
forget.
didn't even know Jim Crockett Promotions was like. How are they sponsoring that? They're not even in business, are they?
That's a good question. I don't know that either. But hey, let's get to the pay-per-view. WWE Insurrextion 2002.
The UK only pay per view. Again, I don't count this towards the 12 pay per views a year thing. This is just a UK special, but it is a pay per view technically. It's a UK pay per view.
It took place May 4th, 2002. So actually, it just took place earlier this month, and it took place
years ago.
It took place at the Wembley Arena, and there were 9,308 people that showed up to this event. So not a bad sellout. The opening bout saw Rob Van Dam defeating Eddie Guerrero via disqualification.
Oh my gosh, you're telling me the match ended in disqualification?
Frank, are we doing this today, buddy?
Disqualification, -10 negative dud. That's a 10 negative dud. What a horrible disqualification. Go ahead, say what you
No.
10 negative dud.
In all seriousness, matchup was actually pretty darn good.
It was a solid opener.
I guess the disqualification angle made sense because you don't do a title change in the UK. Why do
and
that?
Well, I mean, sometimes you never know with those house shows or these special UK events. Every once in a while, there was a title change on this show. In fact, there was one match that had
true.
4 or 5 title changes, and
we will get there.
Yeah. No, but yeah, this was a solid match. Eddie and RVD in the early mid parts of 2002 had some really good matches. Backlash, Judgment Day, this one, the ladder match with that jerk Oiler fan who came in the ring and literally tried to kill Eddie Guerrero, and thankfully Eddie punched him in the damn mouth. He deserved that.
I thought this was a solid matchup as well. The next match was Trish Stratus and Jacqueline against Molly Holly and Jazz. And I have said this to you. I think that Jazz is one of the more underrated performers.
And to that point, I think Molly Holly in 2002 when she had the virtuous gimmick, that was very underrated. I love that character from Molly, and Jazz was solid, no doubt about it. But you know me, I'm more about the characters than the wrestlers. The wrestlers.
Gianna Perazzo is a name on the independent wrestling scene right now, and she reminds
She's
me a
from
lot
Tough
of.
Enough.
I'm sorry,
She's from Tough Enough originally, right?
I
And
don't
she's
know.
an Impact. Isn't she with Impact now?
She is with Impact,
Right.
and she reminds me a lot of Molly Holly, just her in her wrestling ways. She's a
Okay.
technical wrestler, just the same as Molly Holly is, uh, and she's great too.
Nice. Yeah, Molly had two really good gimmicks in the early 2000s. She had the Mighty Molly thing in
Right.
2001,
And then
and
she had
then here in 2002, the virtuous, pure Molly, which was perfect for the time, and it helped lead to a really good feud with Trish.
yeah, and Trish was the perfect baby face for that too. Trish was
Yes,
the
yeah,
perfect baby face for opponents like Jazz and Victoria and Molly Holly because they could beat her up and she could sell it
yeah,
really well. She
yeah,
sold it really, really well. And I
yeah.
mean, one of my favorite Trish matches. I'm a weird dude. A lot of people say when they think about Trish, they're like, "Oh my god, her match with Victoria at Survivor Series '02, her match with Lita at whatever pay per view."
Raw, the Raw main event one in '04.
And
Yeah,
those matches were cool, but for me, I like the ones. I liked her matches with Jazz probably the best because she could sell a beatdown by Jazz, and
right.
I mean, her Backlash 2003 match. We reviewed that. It was great. I loved that match. Her in
Teddy
this
Long
match,
throwing in the shoe. Teddy Long throwing in the shoe. I
yeah,
love that.
her in this her in this match, she did a great
Yeah.
job. And a little fun fact, she and Jazz had another women's title match, the Insurrextion after this.
Yes, I have that show on DVD too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And maybe
yeah,
we'll do that someday.
yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
we got somebody watching. So if you're watching, hey, leave a comment. Tell us what's up. Say what's up. Um,
probably Wes.
might be Wes. By the way, oh wait, hang on. Is it me? No, it's not. Okay. Uh,
That would be hilarious if you're the only viewer. If you're watching your own podcast.
by the way, folks, we got a real special treat for you. And Frank, I didn't even talk to you about this. I told you we had the song out, but
Mhm.
today, after we discuss this pay per view, Frank and I are going to we are going to react to Clip Monstar's newest song, Deity.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are some
So,
tremendous we'll break down all the bars. We'll break them down for you.
okay.
Best that we can, obviously. Um but
So
the go ahead.
yeah. So have we've said everything about the Dark Side episode that we're past that.
Yeah.
Just making
Yeah,
sure.
we're done with it was
Okay. So yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Next match was
Hold on. I didn't give my. I didn't say if I liked that match or not. I will say that was a solid match.
Let me do this.
Yeah.
Before we give you your props, we got to give you your intro music. That's not it.
Hey, it's Franklin.
Actually, that's even better. But go
That's
ahead.
a different version. I've never heard that one.
Neither have I. Neither have I. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go.
this was a solid tag match. Definitely two, not two, four great performers, and they put on a solid match for the crowd. The crowd, by the way, I mean, I know UK fans don't get big events like this a lot, so they sure showed that they want those big events because they were into this show
They
for the
were
most part.
so. Yeah.
Not like Chicago fans, but they were into it.
Yeah. Next match was Bradshaw losing to XPac. And in this match, Bradshaw got busted open.
Yes. We got busted open twice on this night. Once by XPac and another time by Michael Hayes.
Yeah. Yeah. Who got his ponytail chopped off. Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole plane ride from hell thing was just a mess. That
Well, they go under a brand change, so why not have one of your writers go under a brand change? Get rid of the ponytail. Get the F out. Get the ponytail out.
you know what? I wish Jim Cornette and or Bruce Pritchard would have been on this flight just to hear their fucking stories. Oh my god. Could you imagine Jim Cornette? This motherfucker did this, and this motherfucker did that, and this motherfucker did this, and
Jim
this
Cornette.
everybody Ric Flair whipping his dick out. Come on.
Jim Cornette would have blamed the whole thing on Russo, and Russo would have been nowhere to be found. But we all know Russo, Cornette would have blamed it on Russo.
Fuck me, Russo. Anytime you want to go, motherfucker, I'm ready. I'm not the strongest guy in the world, but I'll whoop your ass.
One thing I noticed, the middle turnbuckle, which is where Bradshaw was busted open. There was a funny thing too when he was when X-Pac was busting open Bradshaw, doing like the slamming his face into the turnbuckle. The last time once he let go, I don't think Bradshaw realized he let go because Bradshaw like mashed his own head into the turnbuckle. You gotta go go back and watch that match for the people who are viewing this, and for you if you didn't catch it.
I may have
just watch the match and watch where X-Pac is driving his head into the turnbuckle. Then he backs off, and Bradshaw just like one more. Smash it. But before the match, I noticed when X-Pac was getting in the ring, that middle turnbuckle was already like coming off.
Yeah,
it was already loose. I don't know why that was, but
by the way, you saying that whole thing reminded me of a botch that happened in Impact where Scott Steiner picked up Christian's head and then Christian just went, boom.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
And he just went. Christian just like drove his own head into the apron. I was just like, what the hell is that?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It was like, that's ridiculous. Come on.
This match wasn't terrible, but I also wouldn't say
it
was okay.
It's always weird to see a big man, little man match with the little man as the heel and the big guy as the baby face.
That's a good point.
That's always kind of a tough thing to do. Like,
yeah.
I mean, people can make it work, but it's not easy. Next match was Booker T. This is what you were talking about earlier. Booker T. defeating Steven Richards for the Hardcore Championship. And
I like this match. Booker and Stevie changes it up a little for hardcore wise. You know, it wasn't just use the weapons the whole match. Which, hey, that's usually I'm not bashing that because that's really what a hardcore match was. But
but there was actually story here. There was actually wrestling involved.
But Booker and Stevie changed it up a little, and they wrestled a match in the middle of a hardcore match. It wasn't that bad. It was a fun match. It was a fun match.
It's weird to see headlocks and chin locks and all that stuff in the middle of a hardcore match, but saw that here. And then after Booker T won the hardcore title, several wrestlers came down and tried to pin him.
Yeah, so the first one was Crash, who the king of the 24/7 rule, wrestling Crash. He was
fantastic. I loved the Fun Time USA brawl.
Yes, I've been to Fun Time USA too.
Anything like that, that was crazy.
That was So Crash comes in, he gets a pinfall, and then he starts mocking the 5-time, and he's like bent over 5-time, and Booker T just comes scissors kick, gets the belt right back, and then as he's celebrating, Tommy Dreamer, Just Incredible. It was at least Tommy Dreamer and Just Incredible. I can't remember if there was a third person, but they came down.
No, because it was Steve. So we got only Steve. Well, Jazz.
Well, Jazz came after this though. No, first it was Just Incredible and
Tommy.
Tommy Dreamer. Yeah, they came down. I think Booker was able to fend them off, and then Jazz came in, low blowed Booker. Steven Richards. There was a table set up. I think Dreamer or Credible set it up. I can't remember now. I just watched the show like a few hours ago, but yeah, whatever. So he goes. Steven Richards goes for a flapjack on the table.
Right.
Table doesn't break. He pins Booker. Yeah,
I love the
he
table
pins.
when the table doesn't break.
Yeah.
There's a segment on Botchmania where they say when the table doesn't break, it goes, I ain't do nothing to the table when I'm the table. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it's
No, I haven't.
great. It's fantastic.
But so yeah, he does the flapjack on the table, the pinfall 1-2 kick out, then picks him back up, slams him through the table 1-2-3. Steven Richards leaves. I believe as he came in, the hardcore champ. I believe he was the champion in this match. And
Yeah.
there was at least 4 changes during that whole thing.
Next match saw the Hardys defeat Brock Lesnar and Sean Stasiak. Planet Stasiak, baby.
This was entertaining. So before the match, there was a backstage segment with Paul Heyman talking to Sean Stasiak, who's in a different planet, as we all know. The guy who's now a doctor was in Planet Stasiak, and Paul Heyman's sitting there trying to tell him, "You stay on the apron. Brock Lesnar takes care of the Hardys. Easy night for you." Blah 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 blah. And then Brock at the end leans in and is like, "You better listen to what Paul is telling. You better do what Paul is telling you, or else the beating I gave you on Raw will be nothing compared to the beating I'll give you tonight." So the Hardys come out first. Brock Lesnar comes out with Heyman. They announce Lesnar and Sean Stasiak, but meanwhile, it's just Lesnar and Heyman. And then a few seconds later, Sean Stasiak jets it down the ramp like he's Darnell Mooney catching a deep ball from Justin Fields. He darts it down, gets in, passes Heyman, slides into the ring, and takes matters into his own hands. And during the early portion of the match, Paul Heyman is yelling at Sean Stasiak, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And then at one point, Stasiak's in the apron. I'm not the apron, the corner.
Yeah.
Opposite. That's on so Lesnar's here. Stasiak's in that other side corner.
You're
So
right.
Lesnar runs over to that corner, pushes Stasiak out of the way as one of the Hardys was about to jump on Stasiak, and then Lesnar gets back on his apron, tags in, and does his job, tries to beat the hell out of the Hardys. But then a little later in the match, Sean Stasiak gets his chance to tag back in, which he does, and the Hardys took advantage, got the pinfall victory.
That's smart. That's smart on the Hardys' part.
Yeah.
That's a bar on the Hardys' part. No.
Yeah. Yeah. So Brock Lesnar was pissed. Of course, he attacked the Hardys after the match, and then of course attacked Sean Stasiak.
He told me he's going to beat down, and he did.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if he didn't listen, which he didn't.
Right.
Yeah. Entertaining tag match. Paul Heyman on the outside was great as usual, especially yelling at Stasiak. I loved after. Yeah. Oh, Meltzer, what?
Gave this matchup 4 stars.
I wouldn't go that far. Not exactly one of the greatest tag matches ever, but it was
because we're saying people, but Dave Meltzer.
Right. Of course, Dave Meltzer. Well, it didn't take place in Japan and didn't involve maybe he mistook the Hardys as the Young Bucks and gave it 4 stars.
Maybe he mistook. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I can't say this without a straight face.
Brock Lesnar, the former
Omega.
Well, no. Brock Lesnar is a former IWGP champion, so there is some Japan ties. there is some Japan ties. So with Brock Lesnar being the former IWGP champion,
Here's my thoughts on those Japan ties.
no, but we're talking about Meltzer here. So I did not need to see that.
That's how I feel about
I know what you're saying, yeah. But we're talking about Meltzer here. So you got Brock Lesnar, former IWGP heavyweight champion, and you got the Hardy Boys who are similar to the Young Bucks. So he might have mistook the Hardys to be the Young Bucks. So he sees a former IWGP heavyweight champion and his favorite tag team. So he gave this not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six.
Coming over to play.
Hey,
He gave it 20 stars. 20 stars.
before we continue with this, before we continue with this pay-per-view, I want to say something real quick. There is a show on NBC that's coming to an end next week after 6 years, and they damn near made me cry last Tuesday, and they damn near did it again last night. Damn near. I had like goosebumps. And the show is called This Is Us. And
Oh,
Frank,
that show's ending?
yeah, that show was ending. And Frank, I don't know if you ever watched This Is Us, if you've ever
No.
seen it. Far better than Charmed.
No. But I will say, shout out to 2000 Met Todd Zeal. His daughter is on that show.
Yep.
Shout out my boy. Hold on. Let me see. Where is he here? Where is he? Hang on one second. Wait, is he not on the post? What the fuck? Hold on. Oh yeah, he's right there. He's right in front of me. Right there. Todd Zeal. Shout out the boy.
Which would be the one in the white or the dark?
The white. Right where my finger is, yeah. Number 9.
Okay.
Yep.
Anyway, so last week's episode ended. So This Is Us is it's a show where it jumps in between time frames. So like it goes from like it starts in like I don't know the 60s, and it goes all the way to where we are now, like the 2020s. I think it goes up to 2026. So actually in the future, and I'm gonna get chills just talking about it. What the fuck. Last week's episode, it showed it ended with they were like doing comparisons of the mom in like the 70s taking care of the kids, feeding them, and reading to them and putting them to bed, that stuff. And then it fast forward to where the mom is on her basically her deathbed, and the kids are feeding her, reading to her, and putting her to bed. And bro, just watching that scene.
Right.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna start crying on live video. What the fuck? One sec. Whew. All right, I'm good. Oh, hey, yo. Chill, emotions, chill. But and then, God damn it! And then last night's episode. Why did I bring this up? I'm gonna start crying. It ended with the mom was obviously dying, right?
Right.
And so the caretaker for the lady said told the kids, "Hey, you need to come down and tell your mother goodbye." And so they did. And then the final scene from last night's episode was a young Kate, or no, a young Rebecca, the mom, a young version of the mom, laying on a bed and turning her head and seeing Jack and saying, "Hi," like they reunited in heaven.
Mm. Wow. Yeah, I don't understand how I like just started hearing about this show like on their current season. Because like I thought this was a brand new show because a lot of people started talking about it this year. And then, of course, I found out Todd Zeal's daughter is on the show, which was really cool. But yeah, I looked at it up on Hulu. I'm like, man, like this is a new show, right? And it's like, wait a minute, they've been on the air since 2016. Damn, I did not realize that. But yeah,
Oh, I'm gonna start crying now. Oh shit, I'm tearing up.
damn, it was that good, huh?
Oh, dude. Oh shit. Ah. Oh. You've never seen me cry before, and you don't want to.
Mm.
Oh, teary eyed. But uh, it was fantastic. I didn't start watching until what 2020, maybe, maybe 20.
Oh,
But yeah, it's a really good show. It deals with a lot of stuff. It and I like how it jumps in between time periods. There was a whole like at least half a season, not this last season, but like two maybe 2 seasons ago. They did a whole thing on the dad of the family, Jack, where he went to Vietnam and and then he had and then he tried to find his brother and he ended up finding his brother and we get to know his brother, Nikki, and there's a whole story there. It's great. It's fantastic. Uh, and this show is a really good show. I think I told you a little bit about the show. It's about
you did, yeah.
yeah, it's about triplets. Um,
Right.
it's not like your typical triplets. It's two white kids and a black kid. And
Oh,
the reason
okay.
why it's a black kid is because the triplets were supposed to be triplets all along, but one of the triplets was stillborn, and the parents they still Jack and Rebecca in this case they still wanted to bring home three babies, and so they adopted the black baby, and they raised them all together. So it's a really good show. I strongly recommend it. It's got me in my feels, and
Yeah.
I'll tell you when I watched last week's episode. Right after the episode ended, I had to go give my mom a hug, and I swear
Yeah.
I hugged her, and like tears started falling down my face. I didn't cry, but like tears were falling. I could tell because like they were going in her hair, and yeah, it was.
Right.
It was like, ah, shit. I was like, this episode got to you, huh? I'm like, yeah, it really freaking did. It did. And next week's episode is gonna just fucking end me. Like,
Mm.
because it's the series finale next week, and yeah. Back to this show. Um,
Right.
Wrestling will probably WWE will never have a series finale.
Hopefully not. Yeah. Hopefully not.
Next,
Definitely don't want to ever see that happen.
Spike Dudley defeated William Regal to retain the European Championship. Um,
So of course, being in his hometown,
yeah, now I'm all in my feels. I'm all
yeah,
emotional now. Damn it.
yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
of course, being in his hometown, William Regal, it's a little tough for him to get heat. He was the heel here, so they did a promo before it where he just totally wrecked the UK, just wrecked on everybody. Solid promo, and the match wasn't really anything too special. They did a spot where Spike like landed wrong and messed up his foot, and so they were taking him out. Or as one of the trainers said, and Jerry Lawler made fun of the trainer for saying this, we're gonna take you back to the back.
Back.
Back to the back.
Yeah.
Back to the but yeah, so they're taking him backstage. They get out of the ring.
That's what I'm gonna start calling it. Back to the back belly suplex.
Yeah, that'd be funny. So they took him out of the ring after cutting his boot off too. They cut his boot off, pulled it off, so he's got like one sock and he's got a boot on. But yeah, so they take him out of the ring. William Regal sneaks out of the ring and knocks him down. So the match continues, and ultimately, a few seconds later, Spike Dudley gets a roll up and gets the win. So nothing too special. It was,
It was
probably the least probably the least best match on the show.
yeah. It was just kind of there to be there, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, you gotta if it's UK, you gotta put Regal on the card.
Right. The next
So
match was Stone Cold versus the Big Show, and
to me, the match of the night.
oh really?
Yeah,
Okay, well I was gonna say something different, but go ahead, go off.
yeah. So Flair was the second referee here. He would be on the outside and make sure that no interference from the NWO guys, which ultimately did happen. Hall and who's the other one? XPac came out. Flair chased them to the back, but then Nash came in, and Austin was able to fight off Nash, hit the two stunners on Big Show for the win. Crowd was into it, of course. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin. The crowd's always behind
Facts.
Austin, and it helped make this a really fun match.
Always has been behind him, always will be.
After the match, Flair came back to the ring after chasing. Well, but when he came back to the ring after chasing Hall and Pac away, he comes back and chases Nash away in kind of a funny way. He's got a chair and he's just walking Nash to the back essentially. As Nash is backing up, like, no, don't hit me, don't hit me. It was kind of a funny thing. But after he chases Nash to the back, he comes back and tells Stone Cold, like, see, I told you I had your back. Blah blah blah. I didn't let anybody interfere, and he grabbed a Budweiser, which the UK cans looked a little different. I don't know if that was just it was a little different can, but yeah, he drank with Austin. Of course, Austin stunned him. As per usual, you drink Austin's beer and he'll stun you.
Facts.
Which I find it funny that this is why the plane ride from hell was so crazy. Ric Flair was already drunk before they even got on the damn plane.
Yeah, he was.
He had all that beer poured over him. But yeah, Big Show versus Austin to me was the best match on this card.
And then the main event.
You ready to give your thoughts?
Oh, my thoughts? Well, we're going to disagree here. The match itself, like the wrestling stuff, wasn't that great, but I will say it wasn't about the wrestling because it's a Big Show and Stone Cold. And, it's
like
about,
I always,
and the story
like I always, yeah.
It's the story that was told was awesome.
Yeah. Like I always say, what I go for in a match is, can they work the crowd? Can they keep the crowd into it? And Austin and Big Show did that. They were red. The crowd was hot for Austin. The next match, they were into it as well. This was a solid match too. The undisputed title. I missed that belt, by the way, man.
It wasn't for the title.
It wasn't for the title. Okay. I don't think it wasn't. It doesn't even say it on DVD. You're right. It wasn't. But since I did say undisputed title, I missed that.
You know what I got to do, man. Now you know what I got to do because you made that botch.
Hey, it's Franklin.
Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, so since brought it up, I would say I missed that belt, man. That's my favorite belt. But yeah, as for the match, their King of the Ring 2002 match, which was about a month after this. This was essentially a preview of that match. That King of the Ring match was, it wasn't really that great. It was decent. This match was better. The crowd was into it. The ending of the match really picked up very well. Sadly, at one point, Undertaker went off the ropes and the top rope exploded on him.
And
so
I remember watching that with you, and at first I thought was that supposed to happen?
No, there's no way. No.
Yeah. I'm glad nobody got hurt off of that. I'm glad nobody got that. That would have sucked.
So the finish of the match saw Undertaker do the snake eyes, and of course, when you know he does the snake eyes, he follows that up by running the ropes and
Right.
going for the boot. He went halfway and stopped because I guess he remembered, oh wait, the top rope's broken. I can't run the ropes.
Right.
And then he just turned around and took a high knee, and then Triple H pedigreed him after that. So the finish was screwed up a little bit because of the rope break, because it would have looked so much better if Undertaker ran the ropes and just ran dead straight into a high knee. But still, it was a solid match.
It was a good match. It was a very good match. Triple H and Undertaker, whenever they worked together, they always had those solid matches.
For the most part, like I said, King of the Ring 2002 was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't really that special. This match was better than King of the Ring.
Yeah. Overall, Frank, what would you give this pay-per-view?
On a scale of 10, I would say about an 8. 8 out of 10. This is a solid show.
7.5. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, so we're around that same spot. 7.5, 8.
All right, you ready to do this? Got your
Yep.
brain on? Got your brain turned on?
Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what we are going to do now, we are going to break down the bars for you. And Frank, you really need to listen carefully here, because this is going to be a bar fest. So here we go, folks. This is Clip Monstar Deity. There's going to be a lot of pauses. So here we go.
I'm the one they told you to worry about. It's ludicrous how they only hear me from word of mouth.
It's ludicrous how they only hear me from word of mouth. Ludacris is a rapper, and he has an album out called Word of Mouth.
Right.
Now the story's out. Time to battle the psycho. And question me, may I plead the fifth? Cinco de Mayo.
Question me, may I plead the fifth? Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got that, Frank, but
And it came to my shoes worn, my shoes torn. Do this shit in my sleep. I'm a newborn. Pass the mic, baby. I'm in the mic, silly. But you get what it mean. If a band's on his head, then I baby a fucking king. Look like bada bing, bada boom. Huck him down like animals. No justice leads in the tomb.
Hawk him down like animal, no justice legion of doom.
Nice.
That was a wrestling reference.
LOD.
Now that I can hear that, that was a wrestling reference. When I first heard it the first couple times, I'm like, that wasn't a wrestling reference. That was a Justice League because Doom. But it was a wrestling reference. Legion of Doom, 100%.
It goes like my lyrics different. See, Minecrafted the Enderman. Long gone, with an extension. I look like Slender Man. Not the type you would type for homie. The 9 to pop. I'm Michael Jordan at the Olympics. Bull in the China shop. I'm reckless. Yeah, I said China because I've been killing cats. I get the edge.
Yeah, I said China because I've been killing cats. Michael Jordan in a bull in a China shop. Yeah. And he played for the Bulls.
Yes. Yeah.
All you pussies, Brazilian wax. R.I.P. to Skaha, I'm known as the outsider. Rest of Robin Williams, cause when I spit, you can't outfire.
Oh, did you hear that one, Frank?
Yeah.
R.I.P.
A little bit.
I'm known as an outsider. Rest to Robin Williams, because when I spit, you can't doubt fire, bruh. Bruh.
Nice.
Yo, we're running that bar back. Hold up.
I get the edge up on you pussies, Brazilian wax. R.I.P. to Skaha, I'm known as the outsider. Rest of Robin Williams, cause when I spit, you can't doubt fire. You either hate me or salute me, man. You went from icy to publicity stunts, I thought you was Gucci, man. When you a snake, I'm a honey badger, you fool. You strapped like I'm Urkel, hope your family matters to you.
Strapped like I'm Urkel, hope your family matters to you.
Yeah.
Steve,
Nice.
you know how you do that? Wait.
Yeah, family matters.
You strapped like I'm Urkel, hope your family matters to you. Did I do that? Get it? 2 straps like overalls.
2 straps like overalls, and Steve Urkel wore overalls?
Right.
And you get the did I do that?
Yeah.
Creative player, best overall. I stand overall. Got you.
Ooh, creative player. Wait. What did he say?
Straps like overall. Creative player, best overall.
Creative player, best overall.
I stand overall.
Stand overall. Oh.
Got your ass like a baboon fight. Get triple FCT on in the moonlight. Then I split on the moon night. Last week you said you got.
Here you go, Frank. This one you got to listen for. See if you can catch this one. I didn't catch this one right away either. See if you catch it.
Gotta stand on what you say. No biggie to bring trouble in paradise. It's a new day. No matter which way.
Did you catch that?
Trouble in Paradise is a new day, yeah.
And Big E. You mentioned Big E.
I didn't hear that. I heard Trouble in Paradise.
Like then I split on the moon night. Last week you said you God. Gotta stand on what you say. No biggie to bring trouble in paradise. It's a new day.
No Big E.
I heard it that time. Yeah.
It's a new day.
Yep, I heard it that time.
Yeah, that's nice, Clippo.
No matter which way you take this shit, you gon' have to see me. I was made in Dexter's laboratory right next to DD. Yeah. You thinking cartoons? I'm talking Dexter Morgan.
Talking cartoon. I'm talking Dexter Morgan. I was made in Dexter's laboratory. Oh, that serial killer.
You know what Dave Meltzer said after he heard this?
Hold up. Go ahead. What do you say?
He said soon as,
Hey, it's Franklin.
you gotta wait for me to say it because I can't say it over the song. But yeah, he said right after he heard this, he said Clip Monsters was supposed to be the third man.
Hey, it's Franklin.
Yeah, I'm sure. We're gonna have to make T-shirts with your face on Franklin the Turtle's body.
Nobody would buy. Nobody's gonna buy that.
Back to the.
We're not something to wrestle with or 83 weeks. We can't be making our own. Nobody's gonna buy our shirts. Or My World, Jeff Jarrett.
I don't know. You never know. That's probably forcing it right now.
No free man, don't need a morgue when I cut up his organs. This shit extortion, nah, this shit abortion. Pussy kill you when your bitch while she's preggo. Don't want no orphans, pussy. Wait, I'm sorry, I don't wanna be that mannequin. You push me to the dark side, I am no longer Anakin.
You push me to the dark side, I am no longer Anakin. Also, that whole bar thing that he just did there before with the he did the Morgan Freeman bar. Come on. Talking about, killing babies, Clip needs to relax.
I'm supposed to be like a mannequin. Still, I am no. Wait, I'm sorry, I don't wanna be that mannequin. You push me to the dark side, I am no longer Anakin. I just wanna be one. I'm supposed to be like a mannequin.
Just wanna be one. I'm supposed to be like a mannequin.
Feel like a katana, make him a fan again.
Ooh, Katana, make him a fan again. Katana from Mortal Kombat, and she had the steel fan of knives. God, Clip. What do you do before you start writing these bars down, bro? Like, I just want to know. What do you like? Do you smoke some weed? Do you drink a beer? Do you get the? I don't know what you. I know what Eminem does. He gets out the dictionary. That's what he does. There's another explanation for Eminem's bars. He has a dictionary right in front of him.
Man.
Hold up, you want the Macarena, hit it shoulder, head, it's the Macarena. I got your Stasia, the perfect art of sin. That's an eagle, that's a bird of prey, call it Harley Quinn. That true face Harvey Dent, I emerged from the black phone. Right there, I said that true face, you know, like cat dog.
Great cartoon. Great cartoon, Cat Dog.
Yeah, and he did the Two-Face, the Harley Quinn and the Two-Face, the Batman references.
Right.
Oh.
If it's not,
Eagle, that's a vertebrae, call it Harley Quinn. That Two-Face Harvey Dent, I emerged from the black phone. Right there.
Harvey Dent was Two-Face?
Two-Face, you know like cat dog. That shit I've written is literature, man. Shout out.
Two-Face like Cat Dog, because Cat Dog had Two-Face.
yep.
Come on, Clip.
Shout out to Shakespeare, anyone that gets in my way. Bitch, I don't play, I will go ham.
Oh, Shakespeare. I don't play, I will go ham.
Let that 40 loose. Yeah, beat stepper, I'm talking fall, you can't feel these shoes. I don't handle hyperboles well. I'm 100, pop out the blue and let it ring like the Liberty Bell. Your 38 is special, your hate was unsuccessful. You're a goat, I'm a deity in a human vessel.
Of all the YouTube rappers you've put me on to, Clip Monstar he's like the best of them.
Clip is a beast, dude. Clip is fucking nice with the bars, bro. He has a song called Another YouTube Cipher where he shouts out like a whole bunch of YouTube reactors. He shouts out like No Life Shaq. He shouts out Tulip Mafia. He shouts out
Meltzer.
Who?
Meltzer.
I got it. I try to be nice to you.
Coming up.
He does though.
If he ever shouts out Meltzer, I hope he shits on Meltzer. Fuck. Knowing Meltzer, you'd probably like to taste that shit.
Ew, that's disgusting.
Yeah. Well, but it's true though. It's true though. Yeah, no, Clip is really good. Dax is too. Dax,
Yeah.
Dax is really good. He does the 4-4-4-4-4-4. My 4-4, your 4-4, blah blah blah. He's really good. And Tom McDonald, he's fantastic. But a lot of his stuff is like political, and and after a while, you kind of get tired of the politics.
Yeah, I could care absolutely less about political BS and all that.
It's like other than politics, bro. Like, but and he's a very controversial rapper because of what he raps about.
Well, of course, if you're doing anything political, you're gonna be controversial.
Well, yeah, he says. I'm gonna see if I can remember the bar word for word. So wait, bacteria is life on Mars, but a human isn't life on Earth. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, bacteria is life on Mars, but a human isn't life on Earth, or something like that. And yeah, he talks about stuff like that. He has a song when you put out a song called "If I Was Black." He did a song called "If I Was Black," and you know what? It's a really good song. I love that song. It's controversial. It's very controversial. And he has a song called "America." For me, I guess the thing I like most about Tom are his hooks. His hooks are really, really solid. I like his song "No Response," and I like his song "I Hate Hip Hop," because those are not political at all. He's just talking about music stuff. He's great. Anyway, this Friday we'll be back.
2 days.
Yeah,
only 2 days from now.
2 days from now. Yep, we'll be back.
SummerSlam 03.
Yep, SummerSlam 2003.
Love that show.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to come to you from this house or my aunt's house, but I'm going to come to you from somewhere, and we're going to do this.
Oh, if you move to your aunt's house, you got to take that 03 post. You got to bring that over there, but hang it on. Find a spot where you can hang it on the wall. You got to hang that thing on the wall.
We'll see.
Yeah, but I cannot wait to talk about that Elimination Chamber because
did you want to watch that following this podcast if you got time?
Oh nah, we can do that tomorrow.
I bet. No
Yeah,
problem.
tomorrow.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed this episode of the Flashback Friday. I'm a little tired. I actually was woken up from a nap from this asshole, so thanks a lot. But hey, if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you're notified when we upload new content. I upload new content weekly. He's Frank. I'm Cybermania. I'm gonna go take another nap. Oh, and if you don't subscribe, Frank, what happens?
If you do not,
stars.
what happened? What happened?
If you don't subscribe, Dave Meltzer will give you 5 stars.
If you do not subscribe, my boy Justin Fields gonna come to your town and light up your team's defense this year. But then again, even if you do subscribe, that's still gonna happen. So you know.
I'm Cybermania. That's Franklin. Hey, Franklin.